Satang Prasanga.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and welcome to today's session. How are you doing? I pray that all is well with you and your families at this time. So today we're carrying on with the letter to Madhava Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada's Godbrother. And it was a very interesting, very intriguing letter yesterday where they were sharing their preaching experiences. Maharaj was preaching in Assam, Guwahati and Lahore, and Srila Prabhupada was preaching in the West, and he was talking about Australia and going there, Tokyo. So very interesting that this person actually appreciated very much what Srila Prabhupada was trying to do. So we catch the letter as a continuation. We catch the letter at this paragraph that says, "You have inquired about my books, and I'm pleased to report that 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam and 1 small booklet entitled Easy Journey to Other Planets were published from India." So these are the only books that Prabhupada actually hand-wrote, scribed as an author. The rest of the books, Prabhupada started to dictate them. As we were discussing, this is where a lot of mistakes become inevitable because you're dealing with a foreign language, you're dealing with a foreign accent, you're dealing with audio instead of scripted, so many different aspects to it. So these are the books that Prabhupada actually handwritten, the 3 volumes of Bhagavatam and Easy Journey to Other Planets. So we can see how his godbrother Madhava Maharaj had actually inquired about Srila Prabhupada's books that were written in English. So Prabhupada goes on to say, "And since I've come to the Western countries, Messrs. Macmillan and Company have published my books Bhagavad Gita as it is, and my society has published teachings of Lord Chaitanya and Sri Upanishad." So we remember that whole pastime with Brahmananda and Macmillan and how they managed to get the Bhagavad Gita printed with them. It was really miraculous. They were looking for an original manuscript of Bhagavad Gita, and Brahmananda walks in. So, but the meeting of Brahmananda with the publishers in that office was just amazing. Please read it in Lilamrita. So Prabhupada is saying we managed to print the Bhagavad Gita, and we've also done teachings of Lord Chaitanya, which is actually like a summary of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he can see that a lot of books are now being produced, but Prabhupada is also going on to say here, "Now by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, we have got our own press in Boston." So Prabhupada is saying, just like Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada started the Brihat Mridanga and was doing his own printing, now by his blessing I have got my own in Boston now. And we have now started doing printing on a mass scale. So Prabhupada goes on to say, "On this press, our Srimad Bhagavatam will be printed up to the 6th canto, starting from the month of February." So remember, they're in January right now. That means from next month, February, they were going to start printing Srimad Bhagavatam. So look at how much of books are coming out now. So Prabhupada is not being boastful about it, but he's sharing also with an honest godbrother, "I'm trying my best, and look at, by the mercy of Guru Maharaj, what's happening here." So it becomes very encouraging when preachers see that and hear that. Prabhupada goes on to say, "But everything is possible by the grace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he specifically appeared to reclaim the most fallen souls. And I find it practically daily that although these boys and girls are fallen in the materialistic estimate, they have taken to this Krishna consciousness movement very seriously. And the result is very quick. So just see. It's not the devotees, the devotees who are joining, they're not necessarily making advancement by the practice of the process of Krishna consciousness. They're making advancement by Srila Prabhupada's blessings and by him engaging them directly in Krishna service. So it's not like a yogic process where you work on yourself. They're not working on themselves. They are engaging in Krishna's service. Do you see the difference? They are actually, because they're so absorbed in Krishna's service, then yogi mam api sarvesham mat katin antaratmanam shradavana bhajateyo mam samayukta tamomataha. That's why Krishna says that verse at the end of 6th chapter Bhagavad Gita, where he's saying, out of all the different yogis, the one who abides in me, absorbs, thinks about me, he is the topmost in yoga. So see, the practice is not necessarily purifying them. They're not sitting down and working on, oh, I have this anartha, put one cross. Oh, I have this desire, put another cross. No, they're not working on themselves. They are working for Krishna. And by doing that, they are getting purified at a rapider pace. So this is a very great secret Prabhupada is giving here. Krishna consciousness is not necessarily teaching us how to work on ourselves, but how to engage in Krishna by remembering Him all the time. And by doing them, the purification happens. Do you see how that process is working? It's very miraculous. Prabhupada goes on to say, the newspaper reporters advertises about these boys and girls and the bright-faced, and actually it is so. So Prabhupada is saying, everybody is saying, look at how bright-faced these boys and girls are. Prabhupada would also call them his dancing white elephants when he came to India. But these devotees, they're so pure-hearted. And what is more amazing than that? Is there any spiritual practice more powerful than that, than having a pure heart and endeavoring with sincerity? Just see. And it's showing in the face. Why? Because the face is the index of the mind. The mind is becoming so pleased. The mind is becoming so satisfied. The mind is becoming calmer, more attached to Krishna. So it's showing in the face. Prabhupada goes on to say, by nature, these American boys and girls are fair-complexioned or white. They are beautiful also, and when they take to Krishna consciousness with symbols and mala and tilaka, they appear to be coming directly from Vaikuntha. Just see. And it's a fact when you see Vaishnavi, a devotee lady, Western lady with the tilaka and the sari, that does so much more preaching than anything else. And when you see a Western male devotee with this dhoti and tilak and kurta, that the amount of preaching that does is incredible. And they look so amazing, just like they came from Vaikuntha. Prabhupada is saying here. Prabhupada goes on to say, just like they came from Vaikuntha planets. Regarding Mayapur land, practically my jurisdiction of preaching work is covered mostly in these Western countries. And because Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur wanted that the American and European devotees should come to Mayapur, therefore I am trying for it. So Prabhupada is saying, Bhakti Vinod's prediction that American boys and girls will come, they'll come from, the Western devotees will come and chant Jai Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. And he said they will dance with their Bengali brothers here. So when will that day come? He had that vision. So Prabhupada is saying to Madhava Maharaj, please, you are an influential person, you have some land in Mayapur, help me out, just give me a little piece of land so that we can start building some center some temple, and from that we can then start this prediction of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So from that little request, look at Mayapur today. Wow, it's a whole city here in Mayapur. Absolutely amazing for devotee and devotional service. Prabhupada goes on to say, if you kindly help in this connection, it will be a great assistance. I have already written to Achyutananda in this connection, and whichever plot of land you altogether select, I will accept it. I have already written one letter to Sripad Jajabar Maharaj, but until now I have received no reply from him. Sripad Paramahamsa Maharaj has promised to help me in this connection, so I am awaiting their decision. I thank you very much for your kind letter once more, and hope this will meet you in good health. Your affectionately, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So we see how Prabhupada is writing to his godbrothers and also how they are connecting. It was one of the very sweet letter to see this exchange. So I hope we've learned something from this, and I hope you also have a nice day. Please join us again tomorrow. Hare Krishna.